tell me when it's up.
I'm just going to my tablet now. Yes, Kane, I have a tablet.
We talked about this before that you do.
You keep saying it every time I bring
Oh
it up
really?
occasionally.
I'm
Not
so
every time.
sorry
It's okay.
that I forget because I just don't expect young people to have tablets
Yeah,
because
I
they
know what you
seem
mean.
like an old people thing.
Well, they are, as they're treated by old people, usually just like bigger phones or like
Yeah.
something they use at home, like a laptop. But, I kind of actually appreciate that because it's like a great example of how certain technologies are really well developed. People with like various impairments and disabilities, like
Hmm.
obviously your vision's going off. What do you need? A big screen, and it works. You were going to say something about the story about 51.
Hmm.
You were going to say something about 51.
Oh right, yeah, yeah, and the streaming, yeah, yeah. But yeah, I think it was like two YouTubers came from Canada. I think Trigger Happy and Treasure Hunter. Okay. Um,
What?
I just some unlocks.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, they came from Canada, so
Hell of a way.
yeah, they're not,
Jesus.
and then went on to Area 51 with all of their equipment for recording the Area 51 raid. Were then arrested and had all of their belongings taken
Sounds
because
like the US government, federal police.
yeah, yeah, and also
They just completely seize your shit if you're like a
yeah,
journalist or annoying or.
it's also breaking the law, very obviously breaking the law.
It's the
Um,
sort of thing they can just claim shit goes
yeah.
missing or deny it.
Oh
It's
yeah.
very standard.
Was the JMB HP3? Was that one of the ones I was using before? Oh, I can't fucking. But they went all the way over there expecting things to be okay, that they could record all of the Area 51 raid with nothing wrong happening, and you're like,
An area that is famous for being extremely well secured. I
uh,
mean, there's like something like I think 10, 15 miles between the outer perimeter
mm-hmm.
that's famous and like the actual site. I mean, kind of says it all, really. Oh god, apparently I'm carrying out human flesh.
Oh.
Uh, Wait, no, I'm not. Inigo, you fucking liar. So, do they just go back home or they stick it through?
No, they ended up having to pay. Oh, it was some amount of money. I keep thinking $12,000, but that sounds like too much. I think it'd be like 2,200 or something.
Some large amount, that's
Yeah,
more than
it
they
was.
should be paying in the first place, which is
Yeah,
none.
it was either they were going to be arrested, put in jail, like genuinely put in jail for like 5, 6 years or something,
That's really fucked up,
or they
man.
got a deal, like their lawyer got them a deal or something, where they only had to spend 3 days in jail and pay this fine.
That reminds me of this post I saw a while back where it was talking about how the idea of uh, payment for certain crimes, i.e., littering, or in some places in the US, public drinking and such. How it's a thing here, they have signs up saying you can't publicly drink.
Mm.
And it was talking about how, like, for some people who genuinely are that rich, it's not actually disincentivizing, it's more seen as like a cost for doing that thing.
Yeah.
And so, in a way, certain crimes aren't really crimes, they're just legal if you're rich, because then the amount afforded is negligible.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely nothing. It's like every time there's a big bank scandal, the money that's afforded to the government for those crimes is usually something like what I've never seen like a payout to the government that's like more than say 40, 50 million. Usually for something that they might have
Yeah.
like earned billions through. But there's a really interesting one right now that basically there's this thing called Cumex trading. That's CUM-X, so cum X, like you once came but you can't now because you're a
Yeah. Yeah.
wholesale.
Yeah.
Um, it's wholesale or nothing, you fucking
Yeah.
cowards.
Okay.
um, and basically the whole notion is there's a whole thing with investments and
Mm-hmm.
stocks, and basically it's a really elaborate way of swapping around stocks to other people, like loaning it
Mm.
for a brief time before the money pops, and then you do some weird fuckery. And there's like 6 other stages where it's like through multiple other people, and basically the end goal is it's kind of exploiting a loophole to make it so when they get the tax dividends back, they're
Ah, they
effectively.
didn't have those shares at the time.
So yeah, it's like fucking
Mm.
around with that.
Mm.
So in essence, they get paid tax dividends back twice, and it's I think something like 250 million by London banks alone was stolen from Germany and multiple other countries because obviously it's a multinational kind of operation that they do
Yeah.
because you've got to cloak the money in as many options and as many kind of like plays as possible so it doesn't get seen because it's like the idea is that these people know the system and the ways they can work it, so it's just a matter of like multiplying it really. And 3 guys were implicated in it,
Mhm.
and it's just like one of those cases like with The Big Short, the film about the financial crash, where they
Mm.
bring up a point that when it comes down to it, it's something that's been going on for years and apparently was very big in terms of major banks during the noughties actually.
Are you okay?
And it's just that it was something they scaled back from after the financial crash because there was a bit more scrutiny being directed their way. And in a sense, the what these guys did was being caught done is something that most major banks have been doing for quite a while. It turns out to literally falsely steal money from the government based on some kind of tax loophole, like which is incredibly fucked up. You know?
Yeah.
You were
But
doing just
3 guys
fine
got
without me.
nicked.
I came along and
They're
got
probably
you
gonna
all
be sent to
sorts of
prison,
trouble.
but not really that long. You can expect something like a plea
Mm.
bargain or like a payoff, and they'll probably lose what they've gained from it. But
Why not?
at the same time, these are people who have multiple houses, so I'm sure they'll be fine in some way. It's not really anything but a slap on the wrist.
Mm. Yeah, it's a problem because it's like, hey, but you guys were. It's okay. We've got all of these laws to stop rich people from doing bad things. Oh yeah, what's the punishment for those? Well, usually their lawyers are really good, so they get out of it anyway, or like spend a month in jail, or have to pay to us an exorbitant amount of money.
But
But
for
it's
them, barely a
bugger all.
fraction.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hang in there.
Oh no, the kid's is she okay?
yeah. She's got a bit of a. She's got an eye for problems.
It's okay.
Yeah, that
What?
was my joke for today.
Really?
That was my bad joke for today. Let's
Thank you, thank you.
let's say that.
That's a good relief in many ways. Yeah.
I still use the box. No. Oh, terrible.
What was my point that I was getting onto like crimes being permissible if you're rich? What was the link? I suppose we were talking about something else.
We were talking
Oh
about
yeah,
like
it was the dude's getting
arrested.
shit stolen. But
Mhm.
it's like obviously these are YouTubers, and if you're moderately successful in that sort of thing, probably isn't that much. So even though it's kind of shit that they had this happen to them, it
Mm.
isn't as big an issue for them as it would be others. Like not to say that I wish they kind of did lose more, or like because like the reasoning behind them getting like basically arrested and uh, exploited is like on bullshit, like I don't know, rules they have around military sites and such.
Mm.
But yeah. But it's kind of funny the way that whole thing became just an expression of absolutely nothing. Because like I think 1 or 2 guys apparently walked past the outer limit briefly and then just got escorted back. Um,
Mm.
maybe slightly forcibly, but it's a military site. What do you expect? And you know,
That bed's got blood on it. What are you doing?
it's not sanitary.
Yeah.
Now what? Huh. There's gotta be something here. Antiviral agent. That's
But
it.
for about a
It's
week
gotta be
before, there was some stories in Vice about how um,
Hey,
when they
Sherry.
before
go.
about a week or so
You
before,
stay right here,
Hmm.
um,
okay?
most of the local towns aren't really that big,
Back soon.
and
I promise.
these are places where they might have some seasonal activity from like UFO people
Hmm.
because it's like
Hmm.
a famous area for that kind of thing. But they're not exactly equipped. So they apparently brought in something like 4,000 gallons of fuel for emergency vehicles, got on some extra people in the
Jesus.
area for that kind of stuff, and then they had to like work out what they would do because obviously it ended up being basically just a dumb kind of drinking event for corporate
Yeah.
money because it
Yeah.
was the money and the stuff was run by an events company and Budweiser, so you know they had
I
to
didn't
like
know about the
account.
Budweiser thing.
Yep, it was a few companies completely were responsible for the making this into just a kind of cash out essentially for a dumb kind of event, which the original owners were not exactly of the the original event that kind of kicked this off weren't exactly happy about that, thankfully, and they
Hmm.
were kind of just like they were saying like they didn't want to be responsible for like a fire 2.0. And apparently there's like some talk of like a legal case against them, which is ridiculous considering, you know, how can you say they're responsible for anything? It's people voluntarily choose to do this stuff, or
Hmm.
they do go to this event and they spend the money to go all the way to the middle of the fucking desert in Nevada,
Yeah. Like, 'cause it's
and
fun.
then they can probably get drunk and do some weird shit and get arrested for being rich idiots. Because, you know, who seriously spends money going to a place like that for like a dumb meme event?
Yeah.
Like it's funny, but it's also really stupid when you put like a second of thought into it. I don't know. Maybe I'm sounding like a cynical asshole here, but
Maybe I'm just being a cynical asshole, but I feel like this is all just capitalism's fault.
well, it's just like you've got this really interesting expression of like, hey, here's a thing that people talk about, find funny, and there's maybe a small point to it.
Hmm.
Not much of one, but a small point about like how it's something that's always been in discussion, and how there's always been these lies of like there's been reports about like how the U.S. government and its various agencies have kind of exploited the alien kind of stuff from the 60s to kind of shadow their
Hmm.
own shit, and they'll occasionally put out fake declassified documents, which is a real thing. They genuinely have to and do that.
Yeah.
And then when it comes down to this event that expresses all these weird kind of things, people are just like, huh, isn't that strange? When it comes down to is not even a grassroots protest or just like an event of a bunch of guys around a campfire. It's like a weirdly corporate event from a company that like specializes in this kind of shit.
Hmm. Oh, there's some weird sounds going on, Moth. I'm scared.
mm,
Oh, it's just a zombie eating somebody. Oh.
yeah. Plus, you got a sn. You'll be fine. Can't be afraid when you got a sn.
Sit the fuck down.
Is SMG not really submachine gun? It's actually shaking my gun. Yo, I'm really shaking my gun right now at this bullshit you're doing.
Fucking zombies, man. Coming in here, stealing my jobs. Oh, don't you dare. Madam, sit down.
Sir, this is a... Sir! Sir! Excuse me, sir!
So,
Could you please... Sir! You are making a scene.
what's that? Rounds for a gun I don't care about. Okay.
I'm trying to read. You're making a scene.
Fuck you, Nick. Fuck you trying to have fun, you dick.
Hey, come on, man. They're speaking Dan Din. How can I
Okay.
not?
My favorite Simpsons line is like, for once I want someone to call me sir without following up with, you're making a scene.
Yeah, Roland's been keeping some stuff from everybody else, and
Oh no.
and Jake the boy has what Roland calls
Jake the human.
yeah.
No,
He
having some kind of adventurous period.
yes,
Yes.
in a land far away. He has what Roland's order used to call the touch, which
That's,
is a
Mm.
it's a sense of telepathy, and you could really get like into somebody's mind. Like Jake knows a bunch of terms from old Gilead that Roland has never told him because he just hears Roland thinking about them sometimes.
Alright.
He doesn't mean to snoop. It's just like Roland thinks that he's like more powerful with the touch than anybody else he's ever met, and part of that is being so close to the Dark Tower at one point. It enhanced all of his. It enhanced that ability of his.
Gotta admit, mind reading is probably up there on the list of cool superpowers that genuinely would be extremely useful.
Oh yes.
Like when you think about
Because
it,
of this-
super strength is really stupid. There's only so much you can do with that. You're only one human.
Mm.
Sure,
Fair
you
enough.
can go on a carnival and make a shit ton of money, and maybe build some bridges by yourself. But what else can you do?
Yeah, obviously. Muff.
Build most things that take heavy machinery by yourself.
Yeah, but that's it. That's all you can really do.
That's a pretty good one.
Yeah, but the effects of what you can do with it it's strictly physical stuff.
Well,
That's-
yeah, if you can fly, there's really not a lot of things you could do with that other than fly.
I mean, I think flying. You can see shit and go places, and that makes you more capable. And like, if you're
If
that
I'm
quick-
super strong, I can convince people to bring me places. I don't even have to pay them.
If you're super strong, you can just jump everywhere.
Yeah, there you go.
There's no fucking Hulk super
This is
strength.
cheating, really, but you know.
You
Yeah.
didn't specify. You just said super strength.
I mean, we're not talking like, I don't know, gets so angry he lifts a mountain one time to stop killing all his friends.
Besides, Superman didn't even start being able to fly. He started just being able to jump very long distances because he was super strong.
Wait, do you mean in lore
Wait,
or
wait,
like,
wait,
as he was training?
Yes, yeah.
So that's the original
how that
thing
worked.
he had.
What
If
is
you read the
flying?
original comic, the original Superman comic, he does not fly.
Yeah, but
Was that
what-
ever explicitly retconned, or was it just that?
They explain it later on, yeah. Like, they give it reasons why, and that was just he had needed to develop it into
Oh, okay.
flying. But it was, yeah, he was just super strong in the legs so he could jump. Like, you know, that was one of his original taglines, can jump tall buildings in a single bound.
Yeah, that makes sense. Huh.
Yeah. And they actually use that as a plot point in Glass, the Unbreakable sequel. That maybe the main character would become Superman, like, had he tested his powers and, like, tried to grow them.
I always like that sort of like dynamic in whether someone's powerful in a certain way. It's the question of like, are they limited by their own expectation of their power? Like, is it a kind of barriers stop you? It's like how our muscles are technically like way stronger than they actually are. It's just if they do that, it kind of really
Breaks
fucks up
us.
the bones and
Yeah.
can like kill you.
Because there's one of the problems with like, oh, I want to be super strong. Yeah, but that doesn't automatically mean that you have strong enough bones. That
Doesn't
can...
mean your physiology can handle it. Yeah.
Yeah, because you try to lift a car, you've just snapped your own spine. You've lifted the car, but now you've collapsed on the floor because your spine
I
is
mean,
just
it's
snapped
factory
in two.
limits for safety. I mean, sure, your brain can override that in like when you get like crisis mode. If you like, I don't know.
Crisis
Cars.
mode. Yeah.
Yeah, you know when people get
Yeah,
like
yeah,
super strong or quicker or like by crisis, like a super hyped up on adrenaline or like, you
Or
know.
drugs.
I was gonna say, it's an adrenaline rush. Well,
Yeah.
Hmm.
it's fight or flight, really.
Hmm.
Which, fun fact, mice don't really have. They just kind of have a flight when adrenaline
Yeah, the
comes
little
in.
counts. Yeah.
What's a mouse gonna fight you with? It's not gonna punch you.
It's fucking teeth!
Their teeth are pretty powerful.
He just got bit by a mouse, see?
Fuck off, mate. Sit the fuck down. No shoes, no fucking service.
When the
Christ.
classes came.
I was thinking the other day. Also, right now. I'm gonna do. I'm gonna fry up some fries.
That's what you're
Um,
thinking.
Rather than chip
Yeah.
up some chips.
And I'm gonna put on a, put them on a
Put
hamburger roll.
smooth jazz on.
No, I'm gonna put them on a hamburger roll and eat them that way. And at first I'm like, did I invent that? But no, it turns out it's a European thing. Ben, what?
Chip sandwiches are fantastic, dude.
Chip butties.
They are a fucking staple. Chip cob is amazing.
You guys just had to take it from me.
I mean,
You
no,
don't deserve it.
you guys don't have it because you just haven't. So it's like it's in a way it's standard for us, but it's
What do
not.
you mean we don't? We have them. We just
Yeah,
call it something else.
Wait, what's your name for it?
Well, not for those. Though I'm sure they exist, but we don't really like. You can't find them in
That's
a
what I mean.
store.
It's not really a thing that happens. So if you kind of
I
come up
thought you were
with it
saying we
yourself-
don't have chips here.
Oh no.
I
And I
mean,
was
like, I mean, like the instance of creating a chip butty is less natural to you English people
It's
because we have it in our culture.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just considering I thought I just came up with it a few days ago. I must be European. I must.
Yeah. It's strange. I wonder how Americans can be European.
Mm.
The man was urinating on the side of the building. Man goes up to him and says, "European."
It's like, no, I'm English.
No, I'm American. That's funny. That's dumb, but
Nah, it's good. It's like having a serious case of updog.
I was
So, the antiviral
rewatching some Aladdin yesterday, and I forgot how much I fucking loved like 2 of the songs in there.
Mm.
Friend Like Me is so good. Mr. Aladdin, sir, what would your pleasure be? Oh.
You guys ever
So
watch
good.
A Dog Christmas Carol?
I don't think so.
The movie A Christmas Carol?
No, it's a film that I only ever saw on VHS at my grandma's when I was a kid, and not the people I've ever met have watched it. But it's just
No.
called A Dog's Christmas Carol. It's a Christmas Carol,
Oh, dogs.
but it's with animated dogs.
Well, you know,
Oh.
films that are shown at grandmothers' houses are like the film versions of Cryptids.
They might have been relevant in some place, some time, but they kind of faded from memory and only have like a fragment left. It's like manuscripts, you know? You have this really corroded, awful copy of something at your grandma's house, and you're just like, yeah, that's where did that come from?
That made me laugh more than it should have. They're basically just cryptids.
Yeah. It's like how grandmothers always seem to have those strawberry sweets, but you never see them for sale anywhere.
I watched Strawberry Sweets. I might be deprived.
Yeah, they do. Fucking go to
those strawberry
CVS, gang.
the strawberry sweets that are like they're wrapped up to look like strawberries.
Yeah, go to a CVS.
Nick,
Is there like a little swirl kind of thing at the center?
I don't remember. Probably.
Literally any fucking pharmacy or
Nick,
department
you wanna
store,
hug?
and you'll
Do you want-
find them.
Nick.
God, I'm gonna send you to the fucking store for Werther's Originals. And you're like, Nick, I've been here.
Yeah, I know what fucking
For
Werther's
sale.
originals
We're
are.
talking about
Jesus.
grandma's, not fucking
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
They're right next to those strawberry candies you're talking about.
Fucking no, they're not. Get that weak shit out of our face, Nick.
They would be at a CVS.
We don't
Fucking
even
old
fucking have
sweets.
CVS, Nick.
Yeah, you have pharmacies there.
No, we don't.
Your sweets, you wait. Your pharmacy sells sweets?
Yeah, there's usually like
don't.
things like that. Yeah.
They sometimes
Well,
do like
you-
those vitamin supplements.
Well, then, Kane, get yourself to a
It-
CVS,
might
and you'll
feel like
be able to
that.
find what you're looking for.
Oh, yeah. They're mooks.
Mr.
God, this rune is so fucking big.
It's so big.
Mr.
How
Oliver, what
confusing
would
the-
your
the-
pleasure be?
The
Um,
Veil place in the Dragonborn DLC is.
Mm.
It's so big. Even this fucking cave on the way to the top is just
Mm.
enormous. I don't know where I'm going. I've missed like 3 other places that I don't know if are like progress. I haven't got that LP sense of knowing exactly where progress is at all times.
What do you think I'm doing right now? I have no idea where I'm going. This is a completely new area.
You're not an LP, you're a Twitcher.
I'm a
streamer.
Twitcher. Oh! Okay, hey!
What are you playing, Kane?
I'm playing Resident Evil 2. I'm streaming it on Twitch. Oh.
You
Oh.
think you'd be done with that game by now?
Fuck no, I'm too scared to finish it.
Then why are you playing it?
Cause I want to finish it. Hey dude, what are you doing?
Well, you know what? You've just lost a watcher.
Good. I don't fucking want you to watch my streams, Nick. I want you to go fuck yourself.
I want you
know, I
to watch
bet-
my
I
streams.
bet I could turn on like a
need-
camera and get my tits out and nobody would notice.
I know.
What Twitch mod?
Is that because nobody's watching?
Yeah, no Twitch mod's gonna see. Oh,
Which means you could be the
Jesus
closest.
Christ.
Yeah, no Twitch mods here to see your tits, yeah.
Oh god, they're alive. Oh no.
Your tits are alive?
The Godwins are not here to witness our sacrilege.
Okay, it's fucking dead. Okay, that's good. I'm almost out of submachine gun ammo though, so.
Jesus Christ, it is
I-
the end times. Okay, that's progress. That's the way forward.
Why is it still wiggling? Why are the plants still wiggling, Mark?
Don't worry
Why
about
do
it.
they wiggle?
It's,
How far
it's
are
just
you?
partying.
I'm at the wiggling plant bit.
So, what's Marvin's status then?
Oh, Marvin's been dead for fucking ages, dude.
Oh, you killed him?
Yeah.
Oh, you can leave
I
him
mean, he
alive.
turns into a zombie.
Yeah, you can leave him alive.
Yeah.
You
That's
don't
what I
have to
did.
kill him.
And then,
That's
no.
like leaving
I
Mr.
did
House
leave him.
alive. We don't do that.
I made the dumbest Back to the Future joke while my friend was here.
Hmm.
Well, with Marvin. Because I would keep
Stopping
making
Marvin.
the same one. Like, Marvin, you know that new sound you've been looking for?
I made that
did a
joke
point where
regularly. I love it.
I snuck up behind him while he was a zombie with a gun. While I had a gun, I was just like, Marvin, you know that new sound you've been looking for?
It's called buckshot.
Well, listen to this! Pulls trigger.
Think of that new sound on the alfalfa.
Oh. Mr. Aladdin, sir. Or in your case, Ken, Mr. Oliver, what would your pleasure be?
Solution. I didn't distribute shit. Did I just water the plants? Oh
Yes.
no.
That's maybe a
Okay.
bad idea. I know, these demon
What are
plants.
you?
I'm guessing
What are
these
your 3 wishes, Ken? Sorry.
I want.
I want
people-
9 wishes.
Yeah. I want more wishes.
They
please.
say
I
you
want
can't wish
each.
for more
I
wishes.
want each wish to have the function of being wish plus 2. So like each one
That's- yeah.
taken away, you add 2. It's n plus.
Well, you don't even need to
minus
do
n
that.
plus
Just replace a wish for every wish that you do. The plus 2 is a little bit of overkill.
I just want to have a fat stack, you know.
Yeah, but you don't need to. If they all replenish, then you have an infinite
I
amount.
just want to see how high I can get it.
That depends on how long you live and how many wishes you make.
Then let's see. Let's find out.
Why are you
I'm
being
having-
such a dick about this, Nick?
What if I want to give some wishes to someone? Then I've got like a shitload of them to give to them.
Well, once you say I wish they had wishes, that wish would be replenished.
Yeah, but I want to give them more wishes than one.
Well, then you could do that. I give them 10 wishes. It costs
Yeah,
you
but-
nothing.
It doesn't anyway, because you'll have a fat stack.
I should have been an accountant.
I wish I counted. In my D&D game that I did a couple months ago, wishes were a little part of the local economy.
Nice.
It was some, I think
Throwing in
it was
some fries. Do you want some?
desire, then it was
Fries.
then it was wish.
Yeah, we have some.
I used one of my
Yeah,
dares,
okay,
my
then I'll-
desires to
Rearrange these
Instead
and
of
put the rest of
trading
them
it,
on here. Trading too much.
used it to try and call into reality a ham sandwich.
Yeah.
Nice.
We're gonna
But
take a while.
I was so specific with it that it exceeded the limit, the arbitrary vague limit cast by how much one desire can get you. So it just came out as a really shit ham sandwich.
Rewatching some of Aladdin last night was great. Probably gonna restart it and watch the whole thing because I kind of half paid attention to it. I forgot how much I love the songs, but mostly just the Genie ones. friend like me and Prince Holly. Oh, it's good if you ever want to watch it. Huh? Oh, the classic traditional Disney movies? Yeah. I'm probably going to pick up Lion King, too. And we have Sleeping Beauty somewhere, I believe.
Ooh.
Yeah, okay.
She's sleeping somewhere.
More like sleeping booby.
More like sleeping.
Oh,
fucking
I thought I was muted, my
Sleeping
bad.
thought.
No, we heard all that.
Yeah.
It's a good
Well,
movie.
it doesn't really
judge.
matter.
They're pretty good. Occasionally.
Yeah, I mean, you guys, I already talked about Aladdin with you guys. You guys know I was watching it.
Gotta draw this.
Mr. Aladdin, sir, what would your
Yeah, what?
do?
I gotta draw the symbol on this because it was the symbol from that a console was asking for earlier.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of like that. I haven't had a game that actually made me have to write stuff down for ages. Ooh! I knew you were gonna do that. You cheeky bugger.
I think one of my favorite bits in Aladdin is when the genie's going over the rules. Like, you can't wish for more wishes. You can't wish for somebody to fall in love with you. And for the one where he says that you can't bring people back from the dead, he becomes very green and ghoulish, and he's just like, can't bring back people from the dead. It's messy. I don't like it. Oh.
Oh, okay, now TCLs and I was in a body of water, so now I'm literally swimming through the air.
Oh, good. Oh, God. Right, so there's an incomplete one.
Wait, how was I even meant to get here?
Jesus Christ. I hope you're not alive, dude. I mean, I know you're only bigger because you're in a hazmat suit, but it's still weird. Why has everybody got small containers, open small containers, of intestines everywhere? Does nobody have, like, a lid for these things?
No,
Herbicide synthesis.
cost too much.
Okay. Oh, Christ. Okay. Cool immediately.
My mother made white chocolate chip cookies.
Nice. So is this some kind of like evil corporation science lab or something?
It's Umbrella Moth. What do you think? Like,
I don't know. I wasn't paying too much attention to the visuals the last episode. It was just I remember. In,
I
like,
haven't
the
even
streets.
uploaded it yet.
Well, the last episode.
I finished the second season of Mr. Mercedes.
Ooh, good for you. Feel good about yourself, Nick.
And you get met.
I knew something was coming, like a big moment in the last episode. Where I had to accidentally spoil it for myself. But how it happened, I didn't see coming at all. Because I knew the main antagonist gets shot by somebody who was like his only friend. Basically, he's out of a coma. He's completely cognitive. And he pulls the ultimate bullshit defense
Fuck, they come back. Oh, fucking hell.
of now that he's back and they did surgeries on him without his like things that would change his brain, and it gave him illegal drugs, and did surgeries on him that without his consent to change who he was.
Okay.
That he is now a different person, and he cannot be tried for the things he did in the past.
Yeah, I can see that.
As to being a different person. And everyone is just like, that is bullshit. The fucking assistant district attorney in the courtroom said, "You've got to be fucking kidding me, Your Honor." Yeah, it's great. But basically, like, their ace in the hole is to get the person that was his friend that he stabbed like 5 times to go up there and say that he is the same person. And she's very much she feels like her entire life was stolen from her by this man.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And she's up there and she's saying like, no, like the Brady I knew is still in there, but you know he is a little different kind of thing. And it seemed like it was
Jesus
everything
Christ.
she said was going completely into his favor, which it was.
Hmm.
And she walked over to him right after she was down on her way like out, and she's just like, you're not gonna win this. And he didn't say anything. And she pulled out a gun and shot him right in the eye.
Oh.
That's a bit extra.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit over the top.
Well,
Maybe a bit overkill.
and it's like, how did she? You see her go through X-rays and shit, like to make sure she didn't have any weapons.
It's a
She
3D printed
used this-
gun.
It was with a ceramic bullet.
Oh.
The ironic
That
thing.
was a joke. Okay.
The ironic thing,
Mm.
the main antagonist showed her how to do that.
Nice.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, like he years ago had shown her how to do something like that. So that's what she did.
Murderous callback.
Now apparently in the third season, there is a lot like it's her trial. A lot of it, yeah. And it's like the only person who's killed somebody in the series that the main character is sympathetic to.
Hmm.
Thanks.
That's a lot of zombies. Okay. Let's go this way instead.
No, you got plans. You can do
Mr.
some
Oliver.
tower defense.
Tower.
What if he was like, Aladdin, what do you want? And he's like a personal
Oh!
prostitute.
Fucking lickers. Oh, Jesus Christ.
You just what?
Yeah, wait a minute.
Did you just say the N word?
No, fucking lickers, Moth.
Oh,
Ah, you see, this is the second time that's happened.
Stop
Cheeky
generating
also thought you
controversy
said
because-
the N word, to be
scream
fair.
lickers, and people are gonna be like, oh, he's a racist, not again. It's PewDiePie all over again.
Okay, you're fucking
that's what I was
cancelled.
about to say. Like, I genuinely thought that's what you said. And I was like, didn't you give PewDiePie shit for being racist?
For being a fucking idiot. I don't know about
Yes,
racist, but he's a fucking idiot.
You wore a clothing
Yeah,
brand
he's-
associated with like hiding your Nazi
Mm.
stuff by having.
He has a
nuts.
clothing brand?
No, he bought clothes from this thing. Like,
Oh, what
in the
brand is
video.
it? What brand is it?
I don't know. It's like some. Basically, it's this brand that a lot of Nazis buy because some of the symbols
Oh,
similar to things that
Oh,
aren't
what,
like
so it
Nazi.
uses
It's kind of like a plausible deniability brand, basically.
I'm gonna
Which
put
is-
in far right plausible deniability clothing brand.
Then put PewDiePie. You'll find it then.
Oh yeah, actually that's a good point. Oh wait, the far right secret weapon, fascist fashion. Oh, they're gonna get Hugo Boss to come and work on their stuff again.
No lie, there actually is a kind of cottage industry of brands that make
Oh.
stuff for Nancy.
Oh, is it too whitey
Kane.
for you?
Maybe. I don't know. I didn't see.
Respect
Careful.
nature.
game.
Yeah.
You know the lore of Ket Goblin and the Beard.
Yes.
The expanded universe of Ket Goblin and the Beard.
I don't think Bosk should be Mary Queen of Scots or
Mary
Thoughts.
Queen of
That should be
Thoughts.
somebody else.
Why not? Why can't why?
Because Bosk should be Hugo Bosk.
Hugo Boss. Oh, that's a good one. I do like that. How should I kill
Boss,
this guy?
Boss can't be a fucking Nazi. Boss is too overlooked to be given a shit role like this. I genuinely believe Bosk is really cool, and because of that, I cannot stand to see Bosk slandered in this manner.
Hugo Bosk.
No, that's no.
Somebody I went to high school with ended up being a Hugo Bosk model.
Oh,
Why
cool.
me?
Hmm? Yeah, good for him, but
Yeah.
ran into him. He came into the store I worked at not long ago. He's like, yeah, man, it's me. And in my head, I'm like, yeah, we didn't really talk in high school.
Yeah, what's your name again?
Well, yeah, I knew who it was, but he needed to be reminded what my name was, so I pretended
Oh.
to forget who he was.
Oh.
Ah,
Yeah,
yes. That's nice.
Oh, Christ.
Um,
Please don't.
But like, I also didn't mind at all that he didn't know who he was,
Yeah,
because
happens. Time.
I didn't talk to him. Like,
Yeah.
I just have a good memory for names, and like, well, that was true when I was younger. That is not true anymore.
Yeah, big mood. I'm always forgetting people. Friends of friends, etc. Just, yeah.
Whoa, am I being too loud?
Was that a dog talking to voice? Guess not.
Run past him. Through the fucking door. Oh, Jesus Christ. I didn't like that. Nyeh. Nyah. Nyah. I didn't go through this door either, did I? Oh, that's because this door's locked. Okay, fine. Right.
Still twitching. It's because he's got my axe embedded in his nervous system.
Yeah. Right, store that.
I think that mother every time I get like a death kind of cam with the war axe. And how it raises so many questions about the state of neuroscience. And oh, that's an ogre. Middle Earth.
Yeah, because it means they must have done autopsies.
And maybe that magic might have some like unforeseen effects in terms of the status of medicine. You know, like what they can see and what they can do. Like mind magic and shit. I'm sure that's got some kind of like awareness of neurology and like the bodily system.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop for now.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's super fucking spooky.
It was very spooky.
Zombie plant people, bit much. So I'm gonna stop for now.